ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्।
What does cinnamon do for high blood pressure? Let me show you. Here it is, page 32. This
वेदो नित्यमधीयतां तदुदितं कर्म स्वनुष्ठीयताम् तेनेशस्य विधीयतामपचितिः काम्ये मतिस्त्यज्यताम् पापौघः परिधूयतां भवसुखे दोषोऽनुसन्धीयताम् आत्मेच्छा व्यवसीयतां निजगृहात् तूर्णं विनिर्गम्यताम् सङ्गस्सत्सु विधीयतां भगवतो भक्तिर्दृढाधीयताम् शान्त्यादिः परिचीयतां दृढतरं कर्माशु सन्त्यज्यताम् सद्विद्वान्नुपसृप्यतां प्रतिदिनं तत्पादुकासेव्यताम् ब्रह्मैकाक्षरमर्थ्यतां श्रुतिशिरो वाक्यं समाकर्ण्यताम् वाक्यार्थश्च विचार्यतां श्रुतिशिरः पक्षः समाश्रीयताम् दुस्तर्कात् सुविरम्यतां श्रुतिमतस्तर्कोऽनुसन्धीयताम् ब्रह्मास्मीति विभाव्यतामहरहर्गर्वः परित्यज्यताम् देहेऽहं मतिरुज्यतां बुधजनैर्वादः परित्यज्यताम् क्षुद्व्याधिश्च चिकित्स्यतां प्रतिदिनं भिक्षौषधं भुज्यताम् स्वाद्वन्नं न तु याच्यतां विधिवशात् प्राप्तेन सन्तुष्यताम् शीतोष्णादिविषह्यतां न तु वृथा वाक्यं समुच्चार्यताम् औदासीन्यमभीप्स्यतां जनकृपानैष्ठुर्यमुत्सृज्यताम् एकान्ते सुखमास्यतां परतरे चेतः समाधीयताम् पूर्णात्मा सुसमीक्ष्यतां जगदिदं तद्बाधितं दृश्यताम् प्राक् कर्म प्रविलाप्यतां चितिबलान्नाप्युत्तरैः श्लिष्यताम् प्रारब्धं त्विह भुज्यतामथ परब्रह्मात्मना स्थीयताम्.
Jai Gurudev. So we, I think, completed verse 4 yesterday. So I know we all listened to this, but we'll just quickly run through the steps up until step 32, and then we'll start with the last verse today. So, studying the Vedas daily, performing diligently duties ordained by the Vedas, dedicate all actions, duties as worship of the Lord, let the desire-prompted activities be given up, let the multitude of sins be uprooted, reflect upon the inherent limitations of worldly pleasures, entertain desire for knowing the self. As soon as desire for self-knowledge arises, leave the house or bondage quickly. Seek the company of wise men. Cultivate steady devotion to the Lord. Cultivate the qualities such as Shama, Dhamma. Quickly give up for good, desire-prompted actions. Approach a wise man who is capable of unfolding the truth of Vedanta. Serve the sandals, paduka of teacher daily. Ask the teacher to unfold knowledge of Brahman that is one, that is beyond destruction. Listen properly to the Mahavakyas of the Upanishads. Analyze the meaning of the Mahavakyas. Follow the line of arguments of the Shruti. Refrain from distorted reasoning opposed to the vision of scriptures. Resort to the reasoning in keeping with the vision of the Shruti. Entertain constantly the thought, I am Brahman. Give up pride at all times. Give up the identification from body. Avoid arguments with a wise man. May you treat the disease of hunger. Sorry, where did that go? So may you treat the disease of hunger. Daily take the medicine of food obtained as bhiksha. May you not crave for or ask for tasty food. May you be content with what is obtained as a result of prarabdha. May you endure all pairs of opposites, heat and cold. Avoid speech that is unnecessary. Maintain an attitude of happy indifference to small problems and anxieties in life. Overlook, do not be concerned about public sympathy and censure. And the last 8 are, may you sit in a comfortable posture quietly in solitude. May the mind abide in Brahman. May you see the self, I, the fullness, clearly. See the world as unreal, devoid of reality, in absence of the fullness that you are. Resolve the Sanchita karma in knowledge. With a proper attitude, remain unattached to new karma. Happily go through the experiences of prarabdha karma. After the fall of the body, abide in Brahman, the limitless. So we'll run through I think fourth was done yesterday, right?
Yes, Dr. Pramila.
Okay. It's such a different angle, perspective of looking at hunger. Hunger is a chronic disease of the body that is natural to all living creatures. It is like we are born with this disease. So you just like how you treat a disease with medicine, you treat this hunger with food. Take food as medicine. Don't get caught up in cravings or aversions to food.
And that is because, Hariom, that is why when an infant is born, you don't have to teach him how to suck milk, no?
Correct.
He automatically he knows because it's been a chronic thing which is happening for so many lifetimes.
That's what Gurudev says, no? Hunger and sex, these are the two oldest samskaras that a person has. In whatever form you have been, you've done these two. You've had these two.
Yes.
So whenever we have cravings, go back to realizing and understanding the root of the whole thing. And if you're given tasty food, it's not like you don't eat it, but you don't crave for it. So whatever is given to you, take it as prasada. Or whatever you've done or whatever you've cooked, however it is, take it as prasada. So food is to be taken to care for the body, not for pleasure. Take food as medicine. So we see lots of these children these days, not even children, even adults, do not eat a healthy, balanced diet. Some don't even eat fruits. Most of them don't have vegetables because that is all yucky, according to them, right? So take food as medicine. At least that's what we tell children. Take food like how you take medicine. Take your vegetables like just like medicine. Sannyasis take only food that is obtained as bhiksha. Guidelines are to go to 5 houses for bhiksha. Food comes from bhiksha. So that 5 houses is meant for the sannyasis. Don't plan for your food nor complain the food reaching you. Whatever food is obtained, offer it to the Lord with devotion before taking the food. Idea of taking food as medicine is not to give much importance to the food. May you not crave or ask for tasty food. The idea implied in the earlier advice is again re-emphasized. Don't demand any enjoyment. The term food, though primarily means what is enjoyed through the mouth, all sense stimuli are food. foods for sense organs. Thus, we satisfy eyes with color and form, ears by sounds, skin by touches, and nose with smells. Abide in Brahman, seeking the inner joy than indulging in sense gratifications. So basically, practice pratyahara, because food is any sense stimuli entering through any of the sense organs. May you be content with what is obtained as a result of prarabdha. Whatever we meet in life is ordained by our past, and how we meet them alone determines the future progress and growth of our inner personality. Like earlier, it was said, what you get is your gift from God. How you take your gift is your gift to God. So, what is the attitude with which we take what we get? And the whole life is nothing but pairs of opposites. But generally, we tend only to like and want only nice things, conducive things. We want to keep away non-conducive, things that cause aversion away. But taking life in its totality is accepting these opposites and accepting them with a smile. To be at peace with ourselves and in a joyous sense of inner contentment and satisfaction, ever ready to face the world as it is and act in the right way of life for a seeker. Learn to live in the inner joy of a peaceful mind rather than in the excitements gained through sense gratifications. So basically, this is bringing us back to that point in verse 1, which says, limit your sense desire based actions. Let go of desire based actions. Know what are the three defects in these desire based actions. They are wrought with pain. Then they have dissatisfaction ingrained in them and attachment. And by doing these desire prompted actions, we are building up vasanas, which are nothing but sins, negative tendencies, because desire prompted actions are all egocentric. And any egocentric activity leads to buildup of vasanas. May you endure all pairs of opposites, heat and cold. Life is experienced through opposites. In order to know heat, cold is needed, and in order to know sweet, bitter is needed. We cannot experience one without the other. Life is full of opposites. Heat and cold, joy and sorrow, success and failure, pleasure and pain, and such pairs of opposites are all experienced by the human mind. We get attached to one aspect of life and get disturbed when we don't get what we want. In order to gain self-knowledge, we need a mind that is tranquil and steady. So, the scriptures suggest enduring the pairs of opposites. Enduring all life experiences is titiksha. So, what is that shloka in Bhagavad Gita which talks of this concept of enduring all the pairs of opposites?
Matra sparshato
Shitoshna
Correct.
Sukha
Correct. Very right. No? Matra sparshaastu kaunteya
Shitoshna
shitoshna
sukha
dukkadaka
agama
agama payino nityaha tam stitikshasva bharata.
Bharat.
So by shifting our identification to the self, the Lord, we no longer get tossed by the opposite experiences of life.
Also, there is one shloka, chapter 6 of chapter 6, I think that is number 9. What I remember, I learned few of shlokas. Jitatmana Prashantatma Param Paramatma. I'm not remembering the whole shloka. Shitoshna sukh dukheshu yatha
Tatha manapamana.
tadamana apamana nayoho. Yeah.
Jitatmana prashantasya paramatma samahitaha shitoshna
Yeah.
sukha dukkheshu tatha manapamanayo. Then that is the Supreme Spirit is rooted in, I'm reading from the Gita Press thing. The Supreme Spirit is rooted in the knowledge of the self-controlled man whose mind is perfectly serene in the midst of pairs of opposites such as cold and heat, joy and sorrow, honor and ignominy. Basically being centered, right? In spite of, see, all the normal physical pairs of opposites we are fine with. Heat and cold, but sometimes even that we complain. Oh, it is so hot, it's so cold. The highest point will be of the five agnis that that are being talked about. The Budbud Agni is one of the most difficult. The fire of humiliation, because ego is something so dear to us. We hold on to it like it's like our skin. It is so much of identification. So anything that humiliates the ego, if you're still able to maintain your center, then you've controlled yourself. You're rooted in that Supreme Spirit.
Tulya nindastutir mauni.
Correct. So many shlokas are there, no? Tulya nindastutir mauni, santushto yena kenachit, aniketaha stiramatihi, bhaktiman me priyo naraha. I think this is the 12th chapter where he says this person is dear to me, who is same in honor and respect. That is why I think there is one more step that comes. Don't get obliged to honor and infamy. Will do that. So may you endure all pairs of opposites. Avoid speech that is unnecessary. Speech is one of the ways we dissipate our time and energy. If we can master our speech, most of our relationship problems can be avoided. Here, austerity of speech is suggested to master the mind and abide in the self. Unnecessary speech causes a lot of problems. Idle talk is generally on four main topics: women, wealth, pleasures, and enemies. When people meet, these are generally the subjects that they talk about. These topics detract from the spiritual path and derail our journey. Therefore, avoid such wasteful talks. Scientifically, I was just thinking, when we are reading all of this time and again, we are reading it punah punaha. What we are essentially doing is we are creating those nerve connections in our mind that will be uppermost. So when faced with situations, this is what shows up. Whereas, supposing we are indulging in wasteful talks or talks of whatever, women, wealth, pleasure, enemies, anything that is negative, we are empowering those neural connections in our mind. In other words, those are the vasanas, the impressions that we are creating. So what are those neural connections we want to create? That is why it is said, first step is read the Vedas daily. Why? Because you're getting in those good samskaras in your head. And practice, not just read. Diligently follow the duties. Keep moksha as your priority. So when we're doing this every day on a day-to-day basis, you are slowly redirecting the path from egocentric activity towards selfless activity. Krishna talks about austerity of speech at length in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 15. I think yesterday Sarlaji also very nicely chanted this one. Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyahitam chayat. But this is easier said than done. For me, this is one tapas that there are three kinds of tapas, right? Vakaya, Vangmanah tapas. Sharirik tapas. One is bodily tapas, then the other one is through your speech, and then the third is through your mind, mental tapas. Speech needs to be truthful, should not cause agitation, should be pleasing, beneficial, and one should repeat the Vedas daily. And this thing should not be, it's not just with, it should be unconditional with anyone. Again, it should not be just to please others. It should become our natural way. Gurudev said once, he said, nothing bad comes out of his mouth. He said, at the most, sometimes, maybe he would have just said stupid. That's it. Otherwise, there is no negative thing that comes out from his mouth. If we follow the teachings of Krishna, 90% of our speech can be filtered. If we follow the earlier step to keep good association or sangha, that is step 9, our talks be focused on the spiritual topics such as nature of reality, ways to attain liberation, means of mastery of mind, glories of the Lord, sufferings of this life of samsara. So when we keep our topics on this rather than what about me, about women, wealth, money, fame, name and fame, and enemies. Why do people come together when they have common enemies? So you go on talking about them, but refrain from doing such things. This is what happens when people say backbiting. No? You talk ill of one person behind his or her back. That is tantamount to this. This is tantamount to not practicing vak tapas. Rather than that, move your speech, talks, let it be focused on nature of reality, glories of the Lord. I think there's one shloka in chapter 9 which talks of how people who talk about him, praise him. Chapter 9 it was. One second. Huh? Huh. Yeah. Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dridhavrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Constantly chanting my names and glories and striving for my realization and bowing again and again to me, those devotees of firm resolve, ever united with me through meditation, worship me with single pointed devotion. There's one more. I'm not able to get that. No problem. So, sufferings of this life of samsara. See the defects in samsara. Speech is also a wealth, so use it properly. I think the other day Sumaji was mentioning this, that Gurudev talks about this Kannada poem. I think it was written by Mankutimma. He talks of Matenin Hale Hudiyu, Matenin Negenudiyu, Mateye Manikya. That is, words, your words are like pearls. It is from words that you either make or break relationships. See, everybody out there is not in the same line of our thinking. They are all going through their own ups and downs, their own journey, right? So, with our words, you can't expect people to be saintly. They are what they are. So, it is these words that actually bind us with love. That is the way of expressing our friendly nature, our compassion, however, whatever, it is through words. Of course, that translates again into action, but then it is first the thoughts in the mind that translate into words, and these words translate into actions. So if there's integrity between the three, all the three, your thought, word, and deed, that arjavam is there, that is the sign of a true seeker. Then maintain an attitude of happy indifference to small problems and anxieties in life. It is the glory of a spiritual seeker to feel sensitive at the sorrows of others, but not at the cost of one's own inner balance and poise. Again, very important. That's what Gurudev says. When you go out there to do seva, don't get entangled in the pain, suffering that others are going through. It is natural for you to be sensitive towards that pain, but do it with an attitude of dispassion. Disentangle yourself by getting attached to and getting engulfed by the pain and suffering of the other. Do what you have to do, but with a dispassionate mind. There are a million happenings around us, especially in these days of fast communication, which are brought to our awareness. When things happen over which you cannot yourself do anything effectively, let us learn to surrender it to the Lord of the universe with a humble prayer. So, what is the way out of this? To be in an attitude of surrender. Do what you can do, not that you will surrender without doing anything. First, you do. In fact, if there's a lot of suffering going all around, lot of pain out there, what you can do yourself is to pray and meditate.
Also, with the help of knowledge, you get out of the situation, and then you can surrender, right?
Correct. This is with things that are going around you.
Yeah.
You do what you have to do, right? But
Right.
surrender comes as the last step. So first you do whatever is there in your capacity to do. Like there's so much of war going out there. For instance, Gaza. Take Gaza for instance. Every day we find so much of pain and suffering there. So one way to look at it is just be indifferent. Oh, what do I care? It's not happening to me. That is not right. As a sadhak, you will be sensitive to the pain of others. But are we going to get entangled and start feeling bad ourselves? Keeping ourselves off center? No. What can we do? You can raise some funds, number one. You can send some donations. If you can't do even that, then at least sit, pray, and meditate. Send those positive vibes into the universe. And then do it with an attitude of surrender. This is how much I can do, oh Lord. You please take care. And the same we can interpolate it to our own life. Whatever we're going through, any pairs of opposites that we go through. First, have an attitude of titiksha. Forbear them, endure them. Because that could be part of your, there's nothing but your part of your prarabdha. But see what you can do to rectify. You can't do anything, then just surrender. So we are not talking of passive acceptance. We are talking of active acceptance here. Overlook, do not be concerned about public sympathy and censure. Refuse to come too much under the obligation of another. This may chain you down in an emotional entanglement and compel you at times even to compromise your own way of life. This might happen subconsciously unless we are aware of this. Sometimes people will be favorable to us and sometimes they may be cruel to us. Sometimes people may praise and sometimes they may criticize. Overlook praise and censure and others' opinions.
Don't become footballer for this
Of
opinion.
course, yes. Dr. Mara was mentioning yesterday, don't become a football of others' opinions. So how beautifully all our 5 knowledge points are entwined. They're just the summary. I mean, it's the gist of everything. So why should we not be concerned about this? Because then we'll be swayed. When people praise us, oh, we go on to the 9th cloud. When people are censures, they censure about what we do, what we say, we come crashing down. So where are we? Are we in the center? We are just like a yo-yo, going up and down, completely disarray. Whereas what is required for this path is to have a tranquil and a still mind, a mind that is balanced. And for that, unless we let go of coming under the obligation of another, doesn't matter. So what should be our mantra? They praise us, so what? If they scold or humiliate, so what? It does not mean, again, that's what we should not wrongly use this knowledge. When someone is criticizing us, showing us for our own good, you of course take it in the true spirit and learn from it, rather than be indifferent to that and say, I mean, I'm holier than thou kind of attitude. No. When your near and dear are telling you something, because it is only those that love you will tell you for your good. Don't work for getting praise. Have an open mind which is ready to learn. See, what will happen if you're working to get praise? What kind of activity does it amount to? It's an egocentric activity, right? Because you want to boost your ego. You want people to praise you. So all your attention, activity, and your effort are directed towards praiseworthy or uh, not praiseworthy. Praiseworthy actions you do, you're supposed to do, but your your uh, your intention is to get praise. Your desire is to get praise, to be praised. So what will happen ultimately if you don't get praised? You'll again get sucked into the negative.
Expectation reduces the joy of
Yeah.
life.
You will be dejected. You said, oh, I did so much, no one took notice. I did so much seva, no one took notice. What did I get for all the seva I did? That's it, gone is your seva. So the attitude again should be, it is something to be done and I will do it. irrespective of whether people notice it, do not notice it. I get praised, I don't get praised. Sometimes you do, so many people do so much of seva, but then people are still talking ill of them. Doesn't matter. You are convinced of what you're doing, you just go ahead with that conviction.
That your words, so what, is very good.
Yeah.
You know, if Soham doesn't work, so what will work?
No. If so what doesn't work, Soham will work.
Soham will work.
It's the other way around. Soham,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
what you can use. Soham, no way, Soham will not work. Soham, of course, will work.
Soham will work.
Soham is ultimate, right?
Yeah. I know, I just...
Yeah, no,
so good.
I know that. So,
But sometimes, sometimes, when you're doing your 100%, giving your whole efforts, and in the back of the mind, sometimes you want that your work should be acknowledged. So to get over that is a challenge in itself, and I think you have somewhere some small expectations are still remaining. This is I'm talking about myself.
No, with the sadhana, it will dilute.
Sometimes
It will dilute.
yeah, it's not always, but when you are totally giving and still not being acknowledged, like you need some, that you at least some person should give you blessing. It's not that you say that they praise your work, but at least they should bless you, that okay, that giving that ashirwad type, you feel nice after receiving that also.
then, our actions are for joy, right? Then it is not out of joy. Karma Yoga is doing actions out of joy, not for joy. So the joy, the fulfillment is in doing itself. You don't wait for something else after you've done it. So I know it is difficult. I'm not saying, what you are going through is, sometimes even I have the same thing. So we just have to redirect our attitude, mental attitude, into just joyful acting, not for joy. You see, because even seeking those blessings, okay, I've done this, I getting those blessings is your end point. So if you don't
No,
get
no,
it, you have
it's not the end point.
Hmm.
That is what I'm saying, that your aim is not to get the blessing. Your aim is not, you are not doing your some selfish motive is behind. It is only that sometimes when you are doing your duties, or you are uh, doing any type of work which is beneficial for others, and but from sometimes you have that feeling that at least one should bless, one should have just a small regard, that they give their blessing. Sometimes you feel that you are, you feel so unwanted. That is what,
Just
it's not
taken
that
as
your aim is,
taken for granted, Dr. Savita.
yeah.
Is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
societal, and probably it's a cultural too. Sometimes you see, um, you know, here, whatever we say thank you, right? In India, they don't really. If you say thank you, don't say that this is your family. Like, you don't say thank you to each other like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
So
there's a,
so it's like one of those things, like um we certain things we have to take it. I mean, we all have some expectations, right, as a family, within members of the family and all that. Outsiders, it's give and take. You not always you can expect people to understand you and reciprocate, but you just do it for your dharma. That's how we have to take it and go. I understand, it is frustrating sometimes, day after day after day you do something and then you're not really getting the feedback or something. If, this is what I like, when you praise God, we chant slokas which is praising the God, right? And it gives a good feeling. Same thing as a human being or anybody for that matter. If you say something nice about the other person or yourself, it makes you smile rather than not saying anything. Or I mean, that's better than saying something bad. But this is just my thought anyway. So don't be worried, you've been very nice and kind person, and it's like a adrishta pala. You won't get adrishta pala for this, whatever you're doing.
Thank you,
But
Dr.
in
Hariom.
this, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, please go ahead, Brahmaraji. I will
No,
tell
Bella,
afterwards.
please share.
No, I just have, Hariom, I just have a suggestion. I truly agree with all what Dr. Savita commented. But my experimented that you start appreciating whether insider or outsider by saying Dhanyavada to even the small tasks done by people. And that will be a very, very beautiful, fulfilling gesture from your side. When somebody is doing something for you, you appreciate sincerely from the bottom of your heart. And when you put that into practice for everybody, whether insider, outsider, stranger, to everybody, then it gives satisfaction that you have done your best. And for what you have done, the others have said or not, it will not matter to you then. When you start appreciating, and when we look at the nature, no, then everything, I mean, they do not expect whether it is for fruits or flowers or rivers. I mean, very nice Subhashitam is also there. Paropakaraya phalanti vrikshaha. So when we look at them, then we get that stamina to go ahead without any expectations. Hariom.
Very beautiful. Can you say the Subhashita full?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
परोपकाराय फलन्ति वृक्षाः परोपकाराय वहन्ति नद्यः परोपकाराय दुहन्ति गावः परोपकारार्थमिदं शरीरम्.
So beautiful.
Thank you, Bela ji. It's very beautiful use. And this example of the nature, like a
What
tree
is the
giving
last one?
the fruit.
Paramartha idam shariram or paropara?
परोपकारार्थम
Paropakarai.
Okay.
परोपकारार्थम idam shariram.
Thank you.
Can you see the meaning of it? I don't understand what the whole thing is.
The trees, they bear fruits for us, for others only. They do not expect. Then the rivers, they flow, they do not drink their own water. Then the cow, which gives milk, that is not for herself, it is always for others. So what our body is also for others, help
Is meant to
only.
serve others, yeah.
Serve others, yeah.
Very nice. Thank you
Jai
so much.
Gurudev, I want to add one more thing which I have been practicing of late. It's a bit funny. I praise myself. I just say, good job, Suma.
Which is not
A
bad
smile
thing.
comes, and a smile
That's
comes to me, and I'm not affected whether anybody is praising or criticizing me.
yeah, that
And
positive
I feel good.
affirmation is what is needed, right? Like I am happy, I am
No, only
healthy.
after I do something, not
No,
positive. This is
yeah,
not positive
yeah.
affirmation.
It's
This is not
also,
positive affirmation.
yeah, sometimes you do, yeah, you were able to do it. But this is another thing is, yeah, some of the times like, uh, yeah, also for, something like that would help too.
This
Yeah, but that
poem we
praise,
always forget. we always say accept people, situations as they are. Why don't we accept ourselves first? Then it becomes easy to do the second part. So I've just shifted that in my mind, that first is acceptance of myself, praising myself. I blame myself also. Earlier I was doing too much of it. Now I kind of coming to that balance that I don't need to be praised. And of course that desire is there, or somebody will say something nice, but I'm not craving for it. I just tell myself, good job. So I feel good.
Praising is a divine quality. Either you praise yourself and others too. So again, the advanced course I am remembering. So for we don't need anyone to praise ourselves, but it is a divine quality. So we should praise.
Yeah.
It happens naturally, right? When you see something nice, beautiful, you're always able to say something. Unless somebody is really in deep trouble or not able to think themselves, then they're not able to say something about it. But even just go out and look at the sky, you see how beautiful it is. And you appreciate all that, in terms of the nature or people walking, they're wearing nice clothes. Are you smiling nicely or things like that? I mean, it's so many things to appreciate. Like that poem says, right? The tree doesn't. I mean, that example been with it so many places. It is true. They don't. It gives a shade. It gives everything without expecting, because
This praising
that's
oneself is fine, but we should be a little watchful. It should not bring in vanity. Because see, everything, when we praise others, what do we say? We praise the creator, right? The creator has made us. So you convert all your good qualities are because of him. So then you're staying in that humility. There is no vanity developing inside of you. It's a good feel, no doubt, to say, good job, you've done well. But then it is not you who's doing it. It is your virtues are not yours, right? Finally, it is you're offering it to you're the creator or the maker. So it's all through his grace that it is happening. So when you do that, then the vanity will not develop, ego will not develop. Otherwise, you go on saying that becomes so much of a thing that you are in a way boosting your own ego inside. So when anybody else says anything which is against that, then there is a chance that might come crashing down. So we should be a little watchful of that. But then coming back to the initial intent of doing anything, how are you doing it? The attitude is out of joy and not for joy. So even that self praise would not be, I would think, necessary if you're actually doing it out of that fullness that you are, isn't it? So, I mean, this is food for thought. We can think about, mull over this, because otherwise our spiritual ego might develop. There is this danger of spiritual ego developing. One is a normal, regular ego, the other is spiritual ego. Oh, I'm doing so many good things. I'm reading the scriptures. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. It's still centered on I. Whereas you say, all this is happening. It's all the grace of the Lord that we're all together. It is the adrishta phala of maybe so many, the good karma that we've done before. It's all Ishwararpana, Ishwara's prasada. So when we take it as prasada, then then there is no danger of us developing this spiritual ego, because this path is like a razor edge, sharp, this middle path. It is so easy for anyone to just, come crashing down. You never know what will be the what can bring us down. So just being a little aware and mindful.
And also another perspective, that body didn't praise this body. So, anyway, if you're not this body, praise, you're only praising this body.
Correct. That is fine. If you're doing it with that understanding, that so dispassionately you're praising, then it's fine.
So whatever we are praising is probably, like you said, submitting to the Creator. It's all His doing, all His that kind of thing. It helps, and also that karma yoga attitude is we have to harp in all the time in that, keeping in our mind, like Ishwar Arpana Buddhi and taking it as prasada. I think even as we're talking, I realize, oh, we are still identifying with our self, like our mind, like the ego part. So it's so the ego trying to come up anytime, any small little gap it gets.
That is why it is likened to Ananta Nag.
It's showing up, saying, hey, yeah, you be like that kind of thing. So obviously that letting that ego, be under control, like Mano Nigraha is one thing, at the same time, this ego part is very, very, what do you call that? Yeah.
Insidious ways it will show up.
Yeah,
that is why Rajima used to call it Anant Nag. Vishnu, Lord Vishnu lies on this Anant Nag, which it's a 1,000-headed snake. That signifies that represents our ego. So one head you kind of subdue or sublimate, another one will show up. So in so many ways, ego can show up.
Yeah.
And the way to moksha is to dissipate and dissolve the ego.
Ego, right.
The river merging with the ocean. There is no identity that river has anymore. It is one with the ocean. Just that dissolving
the ego
is what it is. Yeah.
So I know we read in that some some Shat Sampati, that thing. I don't remember we read anything about ego there, right? I mean, we read it, ego as a part of the whole tattva part, but
ego is there, no? When the jiva thinks, oh, aham alpaha, aham kinchignaha. What is that? That is all the identification of the ego, right?
Ego.
Aham. Kintu aham sarvajnaha. Aham. That is what we need to shift from thinking small, limited ego sense to expanding the small I to the big I.
Big I, limitless.
And merging with that limitless I.
Yeah. We have to
cracking that egg of our ego, cracking that shell and getting out to that expansive ego.
Actually owning everything.
Yeah.
Actually,
We'll close here today. I know we were only able to revise the whole verse 4, like what was done yesterday. Tomorrow we'll take up verse 5 and we'll close here today. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.
He's accepting this moment, living every moment totally with depth. Let us keep our spine erect and body relaxed and eyes closed. Relax your shoulders. Keep a big smile on your face. You're sitting like the statue of Buddha, very serene and with a serene smile on your face. Relax your body. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your chest region, throat and chest region. If you notice some tension in the body, just let it be. Except those parts of the body where you feel a tension, the other parts are in comfort. Other parts are at peace. Become aware of that also. There are many good things about you and inside of you. Acknowledge them. They will never leave you. And the negative aspect you may see in you is never going to stay with you forever. They are all guests for some time. Let them be. Sit with the total acceptance of yourself the way you are at this very moment. Total acceptance of what is now here will lead us to deeper meditation. Let go of all the efforts. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let go of all your effort and be in this emptiness. And slowly and gradually become aware of body and surroundings. And you may gently open your eyes.